sounds.
So this is the Outrider, right? This is this is the Outrider, about $95. Go ahead.
And we were talking a lot about Beanpod.
Beanpod, the design
had several submissions that all look very good. Any of them would be great. Well designed ships and rovers for the Blacktron theme. That is top tier on my list here.
This is $240.
This is the set.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
This set is perfect for any kind of setting.
This is the Wizard's Tower.
It is more than just the Wizard's Tower. It is the Wizard's Tower, and it is like, I love the hodgepodginess of it. It's like a crazy wizard made his own place, and then he didn't care about where he set it up, and there happens to be some other person living underneath it who's maybe a witch or...
And the fact that it's reconfigurable in order to do that is great.
Whoa, I didn't even look at that part before. You can have it completely like laid out, and it's like a whole block.
Yeah,
wow,
it's great. You know what?
I get two.
Yeah. You get two?
Wow, there you go.
Holy cow. Welcome to BrickFix.
Welcome back. Here we are. We're going into Bricklink again. Is that what we're doing today?
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about Bricklink Series 6. We're going to talk about what we think are actually going to get chosen. So what we've really selected here are our top... We were supposed to use top 20, but...
I tried to narrow mine down to be really efficient.
Listen, last time I think I had a top, 30? This time I only have a top 25, so I think I did pretty good.
And I listed more than what I wanted to really talk about. So I went with a top 5 and then kind of added a few others that I were like runner-ups type of thing. But
so we're going to do this one a lot like we did ours last time, which is we're going to go through looking at each category, each subcategory of dollar amount sort of thing. So we're going to go through sub 100, then the $100 range, the $200 range, the $300 range, and then lastly ending up with the maxed out $400 range sort of thing. So we'll start with the sub 100 and take turns again.
Yeah, I think that's the best way for us to probably do it is take turns. But I think you'll have to do 2 on yours and then go to mine. Type of thing. Well, it's for some of these.
Yeah. So the first one that we're going to do is the medieval portal. This one I think is great. You heard us talk about this last time around. This one really is awesome when it comes to just outside the box thinking. I really like everything that they did here. I think that it's great for Dungeons and Dragons, as we all know, but I think that this set really has a lot of story going on here that you can really see everything in it. And I think that this set is going to be about $55. And I really think that it's worth $55.
I like the detailing in the portal of how it's not like just one whole pane. It's kind of, different pieces and broken up.
But that way you can actually go through it. Yeah. That's the other thing is you can actually open it up as you push the minifig through. It's not just a pane that stops you from actually going through the portal. You can actually enter.
Now, do you think that statue is a statue of the same dude?
I do. I think that that's the statue of the same dude from the past, and then he comes into the future.
So he uses it quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that he built a statue to himself. I think it's also going to topple sometime soon. But that's definitely him. Then there's no way that's not him.
Yeah. I wonder what the lore is behind the other statue then. Is that maybe like a former lover? Partner?
I don't know. Maybe. Could be.
Could be the...
Maybe there'll be some
villain.
More story. Oh, yeah. Or maybe this dude's the villain.
Yep. Anyways, looks really good.
Okay, so moving on from that, we have the Forced Encounter.
And this one's on mine.
So this one is on yours. Okay, cool. So the Forced Encounter is going to be, I'm going to guess about $55 again. I think that it's a great one. We talked about this before.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I just think it's the reason why I want to have this one and put it on there is for a D&D encounter scenario. It sets up kind of just that field for you to have a few things to add into that just basic
I think so. I think it's great. I think that there's a lot of story going on here. You obviously have some conflict between the bandit and the carriage. I think that it's going to be it has playability, and that's what it needs. And it's a sub $60.
The detailing on the carriage is really good too, because you have the dynamics of what it's carrying on top and the items inside it, and then you even have the whole bandit with his wanted poster up. There's a lot of just good story built into such a small set.
I think the idea of putting your wanted poster right where you're going to go and hijack the carriage is that's pretty A+ on you.
Let's pause for a second. Okay, next.
So moving on, the next one I have on my sub $100 list is the Scalawag.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it's going to be about $55. So all three of these, I think, are going to be about $55. Obviously, the key thing here is one is a fantasy one that I've already picked. The one is medieval, and then the other one's pirate. So there is a possibility that any of these could be picked based on what's going on.
Okay, yeah. It's pretty nice for as small the set that is. It looks like a very well designed boat.
I think it's a great boat. I think that it would be a very nice introductory boat to getting into boats for people who don't have a boat. And it's a good price point for a ship. I think that if Lego made something like this, it would sell well.
Cool. Let's see what's next.
Last one on mine. I think it will be about $75.
Oh boy. Monkey business.
Monkey business. And I love it. I would love to have this. This obviously goes with the Pirates theme, but it's great. I think that this over the ship maybe, but this. If you can't have both, this. I feel very strongly about this.
Classic Lego monkey.
Classic Lego monkey. It goes great with the pirate minifig that was built to size. I think this is a great thing. I actually think because the classic minifigs already exist, that Lego won't allow this because it infringes on their ideas, sort of thing, internally. And so with the brick built minifig sort of thing,
okay,
I think that they might not let this one go. But I think that it's great. I hope Lego does it.
Okay. Let's see if there's any others that I didn't have. I think there might be.
So moving on to your sub 100, you had the Forced Encounter. Was your first one.
And then this one I liked aesthetically. It wasn't a top pick, but it's up there. And again, like I said before, it's like feels Adventure Time, like the Lich kind of thing. I just like the design of that sculpture.
Yeah, so I think that it's great. It's kind of I wouldn't put it in my bedroom while I sleep at night. So we think that's going to be about $50, you say?
Sure. And then this one I put in there for the Fallout aesthetic, the Wasteland aesthetic. I kind of liked it more and more as I looked through it.
It's fun. I like the skeleton hiding in there. I think that it definitely looks very cool. Oh, I never noticed the broken glass.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's another thing that I liked about him.
That was a really cool detail.
And he's in basically a hazmat kind of suit, like a environmental protected suit. So I kind of like that storytelling of it. It feels like out of all the post-apocalyptic kind of submissions, this one's pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I think that it's a good submission. And we think that's going to be about $60.
So, like your monkey business one, this one might have similar issues, I would think, maybe.
Classic dragons.
But I like it because it is the classic dragons. They're being remade. They're now like more to scale for minifigs to ride on. They are a little bit kind of clunky looking to some degree, but it also kind of works as a pair. Because
it does very much resemble the classic dragon. And so, I think this was a great idea for someone to put together. I think that going through it, these are really good when it comes down to it. And you actually have a story here, right? You have the good wizard versus this evil wizard. You have two different dragons fighting in the air, just like Westeros. I mean,
I don't. It's within Lego. It's very Lego.
Yeah, it is very Lego. I'm just kidding about the Westeros thing, but I think that it really is a good scene that's going on here, and you can definitely have a little bit of a battle going on. Moving on.
This one is what I'd like to really have out of this price category.
Sorry, before we move on, we think that the dragons are going to be about $75.
Sure.
So the fishing boat, we think it's going to be about 80.
Yeah, and the fishing boat, I really would like to pair with that merchant boat.
Yeah, I think that this would go really well with the merchant boat. It does look good.
You can pair it with your harbor.
Yeah.
So you get all that going together. Now you've got a full little scene of a lot of action going on. And I like the price point for this as a smaller set to add to those larger sets.
Yeah, it's a good addition. Sub 100, I think that it will be great for anyone.
Oh, yeah. And it could fit in a lot of different settings, too. So this is my first Blacktron on the list.
So I had this one, I'm fairly certain, on my list, but I think I said that it was going to be over $100.
Yeah. It could be one of the other ones. Yeah,
no, I don't have it on mine.
You have Orbital Hunter versus the Outrider.
Excuse me.
Hey, we're jumping ahead.
You're jumping ahead.
Just noting the Blacktrons.
So this is the Outrider, right? This is this is the Outrider, about $95. Go ahead.
And we were talking a lot about Beanpod.
Beanpod, the designer,
had several submissions that all look very good. Any of them would be great. Well designed ships and rovers for the Blacktron theme, and it just they feel very good as a whole set with the design and with the theme of Blacktron.
Yeah, I think that it's a great set design. I hope that Lego actually changes the minifig chess piece on this if they pick it to the original Blacktron chess piece. I don't think that this is bad by any means, but I would prefer the actual Blacktron chess piece. And if they were willing to do that, it would chef's kiss the whole entire design for me, sort of thing.
I like the ruggedness of that minifigure with it, though.
Yeah, it looks good. So let's move into your...
Yep. Okay. This one isn't on my high end of the list, but I like this one again because of some of the story aspect to it. Again, and what we talked about before, the dragon head feels a little bit off, having that scale and not the whole body, but I really like this. The baby dragon. I like that.
Oh, did you see that it's hatching?
Yep.
I didn't even notice
hatched
that.
Out. Yeah. And then you got more eggs that are incubating.
Yeah. Again, just like Westeros.
Yep. And then you get the what are they called? The wolf pack in this one. So you also have a little bit of a wolf pack submission in here. It could be a good D&D scene too. You know, some things that you could work with that. I think you could even, if you didn't want the dragon head, you could probably take that out and have it appear as a little cave.
You know what you could do? You could actually pair this with the dragon from the Red Dragon Keep. And so then this could be where your final encounter happens with the dragon sort of thing, or where it goes to...
It could be where the main antagonist of the series of that module collected
all their lids.
The egg from.
Yeah.
And this could be where that red dragon lives.
Oh, yeah.
Instead. So it could be you need to take the egg back there to complete the mission or something like that.
Yeah. I think that this would go great with the Red Dragon's Keep.
Yeah.
And we think that'll be about $150 approximately.
It feels a little bit pricey.
But yeah. And that's why it's not high on your list.
Now, Blacktron, again.
The Planetary Charger. Beanpod. Way to go, Beanpod.
This one is cool for the little side guys that it's got.
Yeah, the side gunners on the back. And I'm fairly certain this is on my list too. So the side gunners I thought were just an extra piece sort of thing.
And then you got the big cannon on the top, and then you got different guys rolling out with like some extra equipment, Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, this really feels really cool. It feels very cool. And it's a whole entire team. They're doing something. You don't know what, right? Obviously.
But they're going hard.
Yeah. You pair this with that classic spaceship, the the anniversary edition of the classic spaceship, and you got a real battle going on there.
I don't know that the classic space is going to stand a chance with that.
Yeah,
team.
they don't have any weapons on classic space, so maybe you have to get the space police involved.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to my sub 200.
What do we got?
So at $150, the other one, the Blacktron one we thought was going to be about $150. So at $110 is the scientist kit, which is the microscope, a pencil holder, and all of that.
When we looked at it in the preview, I didn't realize it was more than the microscope.
I didn't actually either.
Because you got an abacus in there.
Yeah.
And you got some minifigs.
Thank you.
And a pencil holder.
Yeah, you remembered the word abacus for me. I was like, I know the word.
It's sometimes be like that. Oh, and you got a micro scale version of it to go with the minifig.
Yeah, I think that it's great. I think that this is a great set. This is actually this is my second pick for this level. Out of all the $100 sets, I think that this would be a very good set. I think that it doesn't compete with any of the other real sets out there in the sense of it's really a stem set. And so I think Lego could easily greenlight this and it wouldn't interfere with any of the other levels when it comes down to it for different themes. So I think that this is a really good set when it comes down to it.
That's cool. And how much do you think this one's going to
$110. I think it's going to be about 110.
Hey, and if you like what we're doing, please drop a like, maybe a comment. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, if we miss something here, if you're like, this set was the best set and y'all didn't have it on your list, let us know what set that is. We'll come back and talk about it.
What we got next?
So the next one we have is the Trick or Treat set.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love. This is my favorite set of the whole entire $100 category. It might be my favorite set for all of Series 6.
I love spooky.
I love the spookiness of it. I love the fact that it's not even driven by any of the Lego IP. It's entirely by itself, entirely on its own.
The ghosts in the windows everywhere.
Yeah, we're doing this in the middle of Halloween. Like Halloween just ended a few days ago for us, so this really.
It feels, look at that.
Yeah.
It's really decorated well. I think I put a different one. There were a lot of good spooky submissions, but this one looks great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
This tall skeleton, too. How much is it?
So I think it's going to be about $135.
Okay.
The next one on my list was the Planetary Charger, but that's one that we already talked about. This one was a little bit lower on my list, the Grassy Garisson.
Okay.
I liked it because, again, it's a sub $200 castle theme. I think it's going to be about $145.
Ooh, that is well designed. I like the ivy kind of going up on it, and it just feels like a nice little outside the castle walls kind of place to live.
Yeah, it's a nice little outpost that you can have something going on. You can bring in some extra characters, have a little bit of story going on. Unfortunately, again, there's not a story within the set itself, in my opinion, where you can actually have some confrontation. But I think that as a standalone set, it'll stand up well.
And it would fit well also in a D&D setting. You just can swap out minifigs. It's just a house, basically. It could be any kind of thing. A little bit of fortifications there. Yeah. If you wanted to fortify it some more, you could.
Next one.
Okay. Yeah,
is the Orbital Hunter.
That's on my list, too.
This was sub $200 for me. I said about $190. You might have put it over.
Let's see what I put on there real quick. What did I put? Because I'm pretty sure it's on there. Orbital Hunter.
Yeah, you have it on there.
What did I say?
You said it was exactly 200. So close enough. I think that out of Beanpod submissions, that this is maybe the best one.
I think so too. But I mean, hey, of course, if you're aiming big.
Yeah, might as well go all three, right? I think that this is a good one. It's very reminiscent of the Space Police set that has the exact same jail bars, how they go, just on top right there.
Right. And of the minifigs that you get there, it looks like the same minifig from the previous spaceship one, design-wise.
Yeah.
So this is just like his bigger ship, and he's out bounty hunting and can actually like capture people.
Yeah, I think this is great. I think this will go well. Honestly, to be truthful, I think that I would prefer the other one. the Outrider,
the smaller one.
Yeah, the middle one. Then this one.
The Rover one.
Yeah, I prefer the Rover over this one.
You get a lot of minifigs in that one.
Because you get a lot of minifigs for it. And I think that it has, while this one has a story, a little bit more of a story because you have some confrontation going on, I think the other one has more potential for
have
fun.
A team.
Yeah, you have a whole entire team.
This is still a solo kind of thing, and you got an antagonist, essentially, or a conflict between two people.
Yeah.
All right, what's your last one there?
Last one that I have is the Wolfpack Ruffian Stronghold. Again, I think this one's going to be about $190. I think that it's a castle that's under 200, and I think that it's perfect. The wagon is very reminiscent of the 90s wagons when it comes down to it. Perfect color scheme, perfect layout for that. I think that the castle itself is very reminiscent of the 90s castles. I like the idea that it swings out and it's not attached there, so it takes up very little footprint when it's stored.
So you can play within it,
right? And
then you can also have it stored and look very clean. Yeah.
And I think that that's a really good way to do it.
Because when I was looking at this, I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that it's just open in the back, and so it's good that they got a solution for that.
Yeah, and I think that the other thing, you take two of these, you put them together, you got a full fort that goes all the way around.
Oh boy,
selling two.
Yep. Well, what's next?
So that's it for our sub 200. Moving into the sub 300.
Did we go through mine?
No, yeah, we went through your 200. So moving into my 300, the first one we have is the City Arcade. Again, the reason why I like this is I think that it's different from everything. It has a pinball machine in it, and I love pinball. It has two pinball machines in it, actually.
Two pinball machines.
Yeah, so double the trouble.
Yeah.
Here's why I don't think it's going to be picked. I think that Lego said that they weren't going to pick anything that's modular style. While this doesn't have any modular connections on it, it does feel very much like modular, and I think that Lego might not approve it.
But didn't they pick like the train station's modular style, right?
They said that was the only one that they were going to do in what I was reading. Now, this, Lego can do whatever they want. They set the rules, they make the rules. So whether or not...
Ooh, is that Time Crisis 2, maybe?
Oh, that does look like Time Crisis 2.
Any kind of arcade
shooter. Arcade. Oh, wow, really cool. Yeah. But maybe this will get through, maybe it won't. Part of me doesn't think it will. Look at the Classic Space logo. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yep.
Good job on making the Classic Space logo. Actually, I think that's a really good job in how he built the Classic Space logo on there.
And the thing is, it's not so Classic Space that you could be like, it just fits generically also within it as just that kind of message. Because you get the stars in the background, but it is a good little throwback to Classic Space design.
Yeah, good job.
Okay.
So moving on, this is my second favorite from the sub 300, the $200, $300 category. I think this one's going to be about $240. This is the Outlaw fourstud.
Ooh.
I think that it's the best castle, one of the best castles that they have. I think that it's better than the $100 one.
Wow.
But I almost prefer the $100 one to this, just because it's sub $200 for a castle thing. But again, I think that this is a really well built set.
It looks incredible. That would be a great one to have for sure.
I wish that they had included some minifigs from a different faction in here, so that way there's a little bit more story. Again, I think that you need to have, in my personal opinion, you need to have a story built within a set if you're over a certain dollar amount. This one doesn't have any conflict in it. It just is a nice set to have that is a companion set to the Mountain Fortress or the Lion Knight's Castle or something like that.
Or the Forestmen.
Or the Forestmen.
So that's where the story comes from. You added into all that, and now you've got the whole
right. But if you're going to spend this much money on something, right? If you're a parent and you're going to buy this for your kid, you want at the sub $300, at the $200, $300 level, that this is something that they can play with by themselves. That they don't have to have another $300 accessory in order to play with this, right? That's my personal opinion.
Fair point.
And so I think that you need to have a story, some conflict that's going on in order to have it done. Now, I think that Lego could easily rectify this by adding in a couple minifigs themselves and creating the story themselves. Now, whether or not that's within their discretion or something that they want to do, that's up to them. But if it was me, I would try to add in 2 minifigs that are Lion Knights or someone else, right? Black Falcon, someone else.
Sure.
Horseman, anyone else.
Fair enough.
And then you have a conflict. Next one, I did this one for you.
That's on my list. That is top tier on my list here.
This is $240.
This is the set.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
This set is perfect for any kind of setting.
This is the Wizard's Tower.
It is more than just the Wizard's Tower. It is the Wizard's Tower. And it is like, I love the hodgepodginess of it. It's like a crazy wizard made his own place, and then he didn't care about where he set it up, and there happens to be some other person living underneath it who's maybe a witch, a warlock, or whatever going on. And there's a story basically here. You've got a knight traveling through. He may encounter some of the witch, and the wizard helps. Like, you could have a lot going on there. Great for a D&D setting, to encounter that. You got like this spooky thing happening underneath the house. What is going on there? I don't know. Skeletons?
Yeah. This is a fun set. I think that it's going to be really good. I think that it's well built. There's story here. That's why I think that it's really good.
A wizard assistant?
I don't know if I said it. I think it's going to be about $240.
What did I put? Let's see.
Hold on.
You put
$1 million because that's how much you would spend. $250.
Yeah. Okay.
So the next one that we have is Life of Persia. Mm-hmm. I said it's going to be about $255. I think that it's a good set. I think that it looks really pretty.
Ooh. Wow.
I wish that the base plate was a little bit more cleaned up, a little less steady, but I'm not going to nitpick on this. I think that they did a good job with the architecture.
Yeah, the structural design looks really good. The base plate's a little bit generic throughout, but, you can't have everything.
You can't have everything, and they probably wanted to keep their parts count down. It's sub $300 in order to do that. I think that it's well done. It looks very pretty. I would have it. I think that there's plenty of story going on here that you can have when it comes down to it.
Monkey.
There's a monkey. We're always excited about monkeys, or I'm always excited about monkeys.
The classics.
But I think you have plenty of story that you can have internally here. What's going on?
Flame dancers, maybe?
And then you can always bring in outside characters in order to create more of a story.
And the interiors are well developed.
Yeah.
You've got a lot going on in each interior. It just feels like you are thrown into.
I think the pizza feels slightly out of place.
Gotta eat.
Gotta eat.
All right, what's next?
Lego pizza.
You already say the price?
I think it's going to be about $255. The next one I have is the Wild West set. I think this one's going to be about $255 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I don't think this one made it on my list. I did put a few Wild West ones on there, but I don't know if I tiered them up high enough to talk about it. But I liked all the Wild West submissions.
Here's why I like it. He wrote a whole entire biography of every character.
I did not see that.
And what's going on? So he built a secret room, and he has information about the secret room. He has a whole backstory for everyone within this whole entire thing.
So there you go, story.
Yeah. Great job telling a story. And I think that because of that, you really have a whole entire...
Yep, they all have... I love that. It's your full cast right there.
Yeah.
You have the cast of the movie.
Yeah. I think that it's great. Yeah. So, and not only that, but you have different things attached to the bank. So it's not just one thing. You have the bank, you have the shop, you have, the general goods store. So that's really nice when it comes down to it.
I like the back too when it's enclosed. It looks good. The wall that covers the facade.
So moving on, the next one I have is the toll bridge, the medieval toll bridge that I think is going to be about $265. This is a Wolfpack one. The reason why I liked it, there were some other toll bridges that were developed. I think that this is the best looking toll bridge out of all of them. Mm-hmm. Personal opinion. I think that in the $200, $300 category, it's a good price, but it is a throwback to the bridge set that was the original Wolfpack set way back in the 90s, in my opinion. It's obviously very modified for that, but it does remind me a lot of it. And so that's why I really like
that.
That
explains it. I was going to say it feels very Wolfpacky to be managing, like your place is a toll, like covering a bridge. You are the one guarding and maintaining that access. Just get in the middle of it all.
Yeah. So I think it's a great set. I think that there's a lot going on here. You obviously could have some stuff. I wish that there was some forestmen, at least one forestman included in this set.
Maybe he's
they could be undercover forestmen. Who knows? I agree with you on that. But again, well-built, well-designed set.
I think maybe some of your issue there is, I don't know 100%, but maybe that wasn't available as a minifig choice in that.
Could not be. It could be. Not could not.
I do think Lionites was available because I've seen those in some submissions,
Lionites,
but I haven't seen Forestmen
in this
I don't
area.
think.
I don't remember seeing any Forestmen in this. So, but you could definitely put a Lionite or two in there. Mm-hmm. The next one in my sub $300 that I think is going to be about $290 is the Pirates of the Seven Seas. I think that it's a great ship. It looks really good. I think that the other ship, the more expensive ship, is better than this ship, but it is, I believe, going to be $400, and this one's sub $300. So I'm a little bit more inclined to like this one a little bit better. Here's your globe again.
You got an organ in there too.
Yeah. I like the fact that it references the Davy Jones organ from. Yeah.
There you go. Fit in with your Black Pearl too.
Yeah, there you go. So then you can use this and you can make Davy Jones's ship. I think that it's a great ship. I think it's well built. I think that it would be a good set.
Good for ships.
The last one. Ooh. All right. The last one that I have in this set.
Oh.
Again at $290 and is my favorite from the $200-$300 category is Expedition Aztec, as it is a classic throwback to the 90s Expedition set. I think it's well built, very good job. There's obviously a great story going on here. If you want to have anything that has basically a story internal to it, this set is that set.
And you've got a cast.
Yeah.
They've got all names.
It's well built. You even have a conveyor belt that you fall into that and you go all the way out. You'll go all the way out the front.
Wow.
Right there.
Uh-huh.
And then I don't know if it's a waterfall or what have you, but
sure.
And
a car?
Yeah, it comes with one car.
Hey, that's great.
For $290, you get one car. No, I'm just kidding. I think that it's really good. There's obviously a lot of moving features here. Mm-hmm. I think that it's got a lot of play features, right? You got a lot of moving stuff here. This is great.
I think when we were talking about some of my complaints before with some of the sets is they didn't have features,
right,
in these kinds of Bricklink sets sometimes, and it felt like that would really make a difference. And here you go. You got spinning blades. You got little pokers that pop out of the ground, and the whole conveyor belt. Those features make a set that much more playable.
It makes it from good to great.
Yeah.
That's what it really does. It really raises the bar on the whole entire set.
And even if it's a small set, if you add some features like that, it really does raise it up a lot.
This set might be the best set of this series. And if I had to... If Lego is looking for a set that really brings it, sort of thing, this is the set that brings it because of all the play features that are in there, because there's story combined in there. I mean, when you watch the
Indiana Jones?
No, yeah, I mean, they remind you of Indiana Jones. But when you watch the
Legends of the Hidden Temple,
no, yeah, I mean, no. But when you watch Brickmasters, right?
Oh. Okay.
Every single time that you watch Brickmasters, the thing that they always want is a story.
Mm-hmm.
They always want a story. Where's the story in the set? This set has a story.
It sure does.
So if you're listening to what Lego has to say, the expert designers have to say, here's your story.
Mm-hmm. What's next?
So that's the end of my sub 300. Moving on to your 200-300. The first one you have is the Wolf's Den.
Yep.
Which I think you thought was going to be about $200.
Yep. And this one I like because it also feels like a good D&D setting. I like that you got like this hippogriff thing in there. It just feels really cozy.
It's a good set. I think that there's a lot of play features here. I have the fact that you have two opposing factions. You have a story here. There is a story to be told.
You've got the Lion Knights in it, and you've got the Wolf Pack, and the Lion Knights have crossed paths, and you're about to have an issue. Their Hippogriff captures their horse.
That's not good. Yeah.
Do we need a pause?
That will be okay.
We are.
So the next one is the Orbital Hunter that you had, which you said was going to be about $200.
So this is my haunted house submission that I really liked, that I thought would be a nice one. At 220, I think is what I think it would be. I like this one. It looks like a spooky house, like not one that you're supposed to trick or treat at. It's one where the trick or treaters come and
So I liked the play features in it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it as much as I liked the other one, and I didn't want two haunted houses in my top 20. But one thing that I really liked was the fact that you have things happening, right? Yeah. But I love the fact that they had a goal. It's to obviously, this is what it appears to me, is that you have to find all of these crystals.
Let's pause. Should we say hi first? Just try to roll through. Okay. So you got a goal with this one.
I love the fact that there's a goal here. You have these crystals that are hidden all over. You have to move this mirror right here in order to drop the crystal down into the room below.
Look in between the mattress, move the grandfather clock, things like that.
Yeah, and so that's a really fun play feature.
And then the thing is, I love the Halloween costumes that each of these minifigs has. It all feels very it's a perfect Halloween cast.
Yeah, I think that this is a great set. I agree with it. I just didn't want a second haunted house. I'm glad that you put it on yours. The next one you had was Wizard's Tower.
Yep, and I think it's 250. We already kind of talked about 260, whatever.
Oh, look at this. You even had Medieval Toll Bridge on yours.
Yep, I really like that one too. Yeah.
So, and you think that one was going to be approximately $260.
Now, this is the Wolfpack one that I would like to see, because this Wolfpack one, talked about it briefly before, but it's the classic Lego castle that's been taken over by the Wolfpack.
Yeah. And so you think that this one's going to be about $260 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that it looks like it's falling apart. You got a guy stuck in the bog.
Swamp, the bog. And then you got a little goat area, paddock for the goat. And then you've got the main Wolfpack tower that's taken over the decrepit former Lego castle.
Yeah, and there's a story here of what's going on, how they're taking over the castle. I wish that there was a little bit more of a story, like some of the other sets have. But this is a great set when it comes down to it, with story to be told here. Last one in your sub 300, which is my.
You must have thought it was more expensive.
Yeah, I thought it was $300. But this one is the sushi restaurant.
Yep, the sushi restaurant. I like it aesthetically. I wouldn't necessarily think about this one as much, but I love this little train trolley.
The train trolley is awesome. That is a great addition to the whole entire thing. You can even attach it to your train station, and then you have a place for the train to go.
Yeah, it's going to go all the way from Japan to America.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at you got all these nice little details here. It's all kind of I don't know if this gets it out of the running, because it's kind of modular-esque in the sense of how some of these things hook up.
But I hope not, right? I hope that doesn't throw this one out, because there's no sidewalk, right? There's no sidewalk. There's no street.
Well,
there's a little sidewalk, but it's not the same. Yeah, if you're building a house, you have to have some sidewalk. So I don't think this. My personal opinion is this doesn't feel too modular like the arcade, right?
Sure. And it just the parts that feel really nice to it is it really feels like you're taken to this setting.
It does. I feel like it feels very
wow.
Yeah,
look at that. That's stunning.
In just how they reconfigured the whole entire thing. I think that they did a really good job with this. And the fact that it's reconfigurable in order to do that is great.
Well, I didn't even look at that part before. You can have it completely like laid out, and it's like a whole block.
Yeah,
wow,
it's great. You know what? I
get two.
Yeah, you get two.
Wow, there you go. Holy cow! What a set!
So I think that one's great. When it comes down to it, sub $300, $275. I think that one's going to be great. I thought that would be that's my $300 range. I think that no, because you go straight to 400. You don't have any 300 or 400. So that's in my $300 range. I think that I personally think it's going to be about $330. It is my second favorite from that section. This is my least favorite from my $300 section. Again, it is another Wolfpack selection. This one has story going on in it. I think it's going to be about $310.
The fact that it's set in like a volcanic kind of setting where there's lava flows coming through, you just know that it's close to just some dangerous territory.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun when it comes down to it. I think that you have a lot of story going on here. So you have people trying to get into the castle. You have a whole entire... You have a story here, and that's what makes it great when it comes down to it.
You got like a chair, the main throne that like comes out.
Yeah,
it's a trap.
I think that it makes it so you can put the person in it.
And then you got your Lion Knights to mix in with conflict, like you like.
Yeah.
And then look at that. He's got like, what is that, a Morning Star?
Yeah.
Wow. Got a dangerous wolf pack there.
Yeah.
You don't want to roll up on this one if you're one of the other knight factions.
Yeah, so the one that I like the best for $310, which obviously is in direct competition with Castle and possibly with the sushi restaurant,
definitely,
is the Samurai Castle. I think that the Samurai Castle is going to be about $310, and it is also one of my favorites. I think that this one should definitely get picked. I would be heartbroken. I think I'll be heartbroken if this one doesn't get picked.
I don't think you can have the sushi one and this one.
It really is a shame, and maybe Lego will make an exception for me. I don't know. But whoever doesn't get picked this round, please resubmit for next round, because I love both these sets. Just an absolute ton. I think that both these sets are extremely beautiful, and I would be very excited to own either.
Is that a glowing rod? Like he's forging a sword?
Yeah, it looks like he's forging a sword.
Let me see that close up again. Yeah, wow, that's cool. Forging a samurai sword, maybe?
Yeah. Really good set. Good job on this. I'm really impressed.
I like the trees, too.
So, last section is our maxed out section, the $400 section. I'm going to start with mine. So, mine is I think it'll be I think it's going to be $400, the Fort by the River. I think that it's a great fort if you want another factions fort. That's why I added it. I think that it's, in my opinion, it's just another factions fort, right? Mm-hmm. Or castle.
Ooh.
There's conflict going on here. You have enough people to be able to actually have some conflict and do things like that. I do think that the outside looks a little barren to me. I wish that it had a little bit more detailing on it for $400. But I think that there's stuff to happen here, right?
In that whole cast of characters there, you've got a nice mix of factions that you could have bounce between whoever.
Yeah. So, great castle set when it comes down to it. The next one I had was Lion Knight's Keep. So, the Fort by the River was my second top choice. The Lion Knight's Keep is actually my last top choice in the $400 category, mostly because of Lion Knight's Castle and why you need this Lion Knight's Keep. I think that it has better exterior detailing. That's why I liked it and I added it to this. But because Lion Knight's Castle is already a thing, I don't really want this one. If they had made this a different faction and had the same detailing, I would be that happy with it. But it doesn't feel like a Wolfpack faction. It would need to be some other faction when it comes down to it. But you got a huge cast of characters.
Yeah, and you got two Wolfpack trying to make their way through or sneak in.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of story there. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, just a ton of elements when it comes down to it. Great job.
Looks good.
The last one and my favorite for the $400 category is the Privateer Frigate.
I think
that it's great. It'll pair well with any ship. It's hard to have a story or, have competing factions on a boat, right? You could have a second boat or other things like that. So I'll forgive not having that. There could be some story with the characters. You got plenty of characters to be able to tell some sort of story with. But I think this is a really good. It's a really.
That ship is not one you want to have an encounter with those smaller ships.
No, yeah.
It is loaded for bear.
Yeah, this one would definitely challenge anyone who came after it.
It's very royal looking too.
I think it's a great job. Great job for $400.
All right, my last two. So, of course, the Red Rose Castle. I like it. It's another kind of spooky one. Again, this might be a little bit kind of in competition with the the Transylvania? What was it called?
So yeah, and that's
the previous series.
I looked at this one and I moved it off my list because of the Series 5, the Vampire's Castle.
Sure.
It looks too much like it.
It's similar, but here's this right here. This guy, Lord Aaron, or however you'd say it. I was like, I want that. I like the way they did that fig with the wings and all that. Yeah. And I just like the figs that were in it all together. Yeah, I like this creepy keymaster guy.
There's a whole entire story here. Like, it looks like a damsel in distress story where Nathan's going to save Lady Laura, and Lady Laura was kidnapped by the Lord Arion guy, and he has some skeleton soldiers and some Duncan skeleton guy. And you have this white wizard to help you out. I don't know. It's your story to tell when it comes down to it. But there's a story here. There's conflict. There's stuff going on. I think that it would be a lot of fun to own. I agree with you on that. But I didn't put it on because it was too much. It felt too much like Series 5.
I like the statue of the angel at the top, too. Yeah. It's really nice detailing. Yeah, I just put it on because I thought it was worth mentioning. And it wasn't my top pick, though, of that. I think the last one there is my top pick.
So your top pick for the...
some classic space. This one has all the space you could want.
So
look at that.
Yeah, so $400 for this classic space. You got 2 ships, 2 rovers, and a moon base.
You have a ship, a rocket, and 2 rovers.
Okay, my bad. A ship, a rocket.
Rockets are a little bit different.
They are different than a ship. I'll agree with you on that.
You've got a little bit of some plant growth that you're doing for your survival in there at the top. You've got a whole living quarters. It's really nice. You got sleeping quarters. They have a whole changing area for your going outwear. See there? Cool. So there's your suits that you leave. And then you have your own inner attire. They've all got different activities that they can do and partake in. You've got a whole, what is that? A gantry? Is that what you call that? Or what's the thing that crosses?
Like a gangway?
A gangway. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. And then look at that. That rover
is really big. And, I looked at this one. I decided not to put it on mine because I felt like it was $400 and it seemed too expensive for classic space for me. But to be honest, if we go back to the rover, the rover itself is a really nice rover. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got a lot going on here. There's a lot to explore. You could do a lot of exploring. The ship is really good.
The ship is good.
Every aspect here is really good. The fact that you have 3 spacesuits, you have 3 spare spacesuits. You have everyone else who can do whatever, right? And the airlock, I think it's really well built, really well designed. I just feel like it's really expensive.
But it's the same price as the other ones in this category.
I agree. But here's the thing. I feel like here. I think that it's too expensive for parts that I feel like should be possibly sold separately and put together.
Well, and that's where I would disagree with you here. Is I feel like if we're looking at your grand royal ship there,
right?
You have that. This you have a whole story involved in it because you have all those pieces for the same price.
I'll agree. Hold on. I'll agree with you that this has more story and more activity than the Imperial ship, right? The privateer ship. Yeah. I will 100% agree with you on that. But I don't think that the $400 Imperial ship is. I mean, I think that it's the best one in the $400 market, but I don't know if I'd spend $400 on it. To be honest, it's my favorite. of the ships, right? And I love it, but it's might be too expensive. And I think that this is too expensive.
Well, agree to disagree.
That's what
I would take it.
I mean, I'll buy it, let's be honest. But I wish that it wouldn't be $400.
Sure, that would be great if it wasn't. Yeah, if you could take down the piece count, you could maybe
anything that I wasn't willing to spend when I thought Lego would cost didn't make it on my list. So if I thought that Lego would charge $400 for this, but I'd only be willing to spend, in my personal opinion, about $350, maybe $320. That's where I'd want to be on this set, is between $320 and $350. Obviously, I think that it's missing $70 worth of value. About there, right?
I think it's right. It's perfect.
And I'm fine.
I can see it working just fine.
I'm happy you like it. For all of you at home, I hope you enjoyed the ones that we went through. I really do think that the top 5 are going to be on here. I think we did a good job covering what got picked last time around in Series 5. So I really do think that the top 5 are going to be on here. If you think that we missed something, let us know. I would love to do another video on this about things that we missed. If there's a special feature that we didn't highlight, something that
definitely let us know about.
We missed something key. Let us know about that, because honestly, you can only go through these so fast, right? When it comes down to it, and sometimes we miss things. And to be honest, with this one, I missed how detailed this ship was. I kind of looked at it at
cursory.
Yeah, cursory, and I didn't get into it, and I missed some of the details of the play features.
I like these ones for that reason, because several times when I pick these kinds of sets, they have a lot more going on than the first glance.
Yeah.
Especially when you dive into it. And so that's where I see the value. The previous space one that I wanted, it had the same kind of thing. There was a lot going on.
The train space one,
the one that had the launching ships, was it? I don't think, not the train.
No. Okay, yeah. The one, yeah.
So anyways, check you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.